we have a little treat for you. We're going to ask Sowon to come up, and Sowon is one of our small group leaders from the Port Washington group, and we have asked her to come and share with us a little bit about her experience in leading the group. So everybody welcome Sowon. So thank you so much for coming out and being with us. And I had a fun time hearing her stories over this week. She's been a leader in the Port Washington small group for a couple of years. And Cheryl and I have been able to see a little bit into the life of that group and have been so impressed with what they've accomplished there that we wanted to hear from one of the leaders. And so it's been 2 years, I think you told me, right?
Yeah, it's been about
All
2
right.
years.
Do you have a highlight or two that you kind of want to tell us a little bit about what small group life has sort of meant to you?
I think more than, there, oh my God, there's so much. But I think the biggest thing for me is that over the past 2 years, our small group has really gelled to start to feel a lot like a family, more than just, I guess, a community or a gathering of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do a little differently at Beacon is, sometimes you might have been used to a small group where, we kind of group people up. You have a marriage group, and then you have like a single adult group, and you have things like that. And we've gone in a different direction. We felt like it was important for us to create our small groups so that they might look more like a spiritual family. And so we've created them to be more geographically based. And so that's why we refer to it as the Port Washington small group. The group is very diverse. You want to speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah. We have people from, pretty much all walks of life. I think the thing that I love the most is that in addition to being ethnically and socioeconomically and politically diverse, our group is generationally diverse. So we have people who are, just graduated from college and starting in their careers, and then we have people who are parents of smaller kids, midlife, like getting older. And then we have people who are more experienced in life.
Older.
Life experience.
We were invited to an 80th birthday party, a surprise birthday party for one of their members in the group. It was Joni, actually, and
Yay.
Cheryl and I were able to go to that. They invited us, it was super cool. Cheryl and I watched as everybody kind of interacted, and before Joni got there, we have Dips and Heidi was there. She's like, change the music. Joni won't like this kind of music. And I'm like, so here's Heidi who knows the kind of music, that Joni will like. And then when she shows up, I think it was one of your daughters comes over and gives Joni a hug, and I was just wrecked. Cheryl and I were like just loving seeing this whole family kind of come. And then one of the highlights for me was when Joni insisted that Dips help her with her phone. Because I was like, that is awesome. And Dips is like, how did I become tech support? I'm like, because you're like the son who needs to take care of the tech. And so I loved that. It was a really, really sweet moment. Now, have you experienced some of the tensions that diversity like that can bring?
Yeah, I think that kind of comes part and parcel with it, is that when you do have differences of opinion, and some of them, are really strongly held beliefs, it can get a little awkward sometimes, I think, and, people have a different way of perceiving awkwardness. I'm a little bit obtuse, so I don't pick up on it very readily, but, I think it's inevitable, especially given the kind of year or year and a half or two that we've had. There's just been so much, and it's very stressful. And I think when you're coming from a place of stress, people's backs are against the wall. You're feeling, maybe left out, but I think that we've been able to really make it through based on our shared love for each other and our shared love for our God. That at the end of the day, we're trying to support and care for and show grace and mercy toward each other. I think that gets us past the awkward moments that that inevitably come along.
Oh, I love that. You also had mentioned to me that as a single mom, that the group was significant.
You're not supposed to say that. I'm kidding. We agreed.
I tried to,
It's okay.
I was like, you can't do that to me. Don't get me up there. Ask me to say this and then call me out for it. But thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty open about it. As a single parent, I think being part of a small group, and this has gone, across several different small groups. Actually, I was with Eddie and Megan in the beginning, and then Patty and June after that, and and now with Heidi and Dips, we're leading a third one. But having gone through, I think what is arguably one of the most difficult moments in my life, and like as you're going through the grief of going through that and all the different stages that come along with it, I think there's also this sense of, whether it's deserved or not, shame and isolation, that comes with it. And I think being part of a family of believers, and I really put the emphasis on family, I feel like not just for me, but also for my kids, it filled some gaps that were there. And, I think that there is no better way to both express and also receive, I think, the kind of love that God really wants to show us, and that is paternal, fraternal, all kinds of like amazing love. And I think that is really the gift that I found in small group. And don't get doe-eyed on me because I'm going to break, but not because me, but because you're crying. You're crying, not me.
Well, you hear the stories, it's very, anyway. Are there parts of the group life that you would want to encourage the congregation? Maybe some folks who haven't yet made that decision to be part of one of these spiritual families. Anything you'd want to say to them?
I mean, I think that's really it. At the end of the day, like, yeah, you're tired. Work is hard. It's another thing to do, but I think having that constant community around our shared faith, and really living out what that means, learning how to love each other past our differences and learning how to care for each other where there is need, and we all go through those phases, whether it's an illness or job loss or just loneliness. I think that there is no better way to give and receive God's love, I think, than in this kind of a small group format. I really, hope that if you haven't plugged in already, that you take this opportunity to do so because it is truly life-changing.
Let's give Sowon a big thank you for sharing her experience with us. Thank you.